I often contend that one of the reasons we elected Donald Trump, one of the reasons that Americans, otherwise very smart Americans, voted for Donald Trump is a failure of the media, specifically because they made him plausible. They didn't put the degree of evil that he represented, the degree of lying that he represented, the degree of fraud that he represented. They never put that in real context. They were never just outright saying things that should be said, however partisan it may seem, even if true. Well, over the last few months, we've seen the media try to do better, and I was shocked in seeing the way Pelosi was handled. Pelosi's always used as somebody to beat on, and because she's such a strong woman, for some reason that gets her quite a few arrows, actually, from all sides. Well, these two reporters here, I found in one little segment, corrected much that had to be said about the select committee, which should neutralize anything Republicans have to say, claiming that this ordeal with the select committee is anything or is a partisan deal or a witch hunt. Let's listen to this and then take it on the other side.
I want to share what one of the Republicans that Pelosi rejected said yesterday.
Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, has more control and authority and responsibility over the leadership of the Capitol Police than anyone else in the United States Capitol. She is ultimately responsible for the breakdown of security at the Capitol that happened on January 6th.
And Pelosi nixed him, but McCarthy trying to nominate this guy and Jim Jordan is clearly an effort to derail the whole thing.
If you wouldn't mind, I want to fact check Jim Banks there and the idea that Pelosi has control over the security of the Capitol. The Capitol Police Board has one member who's appointed by the House Speaker, one who the House Speaker has a role in, but the idea that Pelosi had operational control over Capitol Hill security on January 6th or any other day is simply not true.
It's an important hearing, but at the end of the day, does the American voter care?
I hope they do. I certainly want to hear what actually happened and where the breakdown of security was met in the Capitol in terms of their elected leaders. I do think it has the tendency to become more of a partisan exercise just based on the fact that it is all controlled by Nancy Pelosi at this time. But it's important to remember, she tried to do a bipartisan, equally divided commission, and Republicans rejected that. So this is kind of the only avenue that was left for her.
I think it's important for two important concepts that was left there. One reporter made sure to state that Pelosi does not have operational control over the Capitol Police at all. So therefore, the attacks that this was a security issue on Nancy Pelosi's part it's simply a lie. But secondly, as well, what was made very clear was that Pelosi attempted to create a true bipartisan of equal weight, meaning the same amount of Democrats, same amount of Republicans on this select committee, and they rejected it even after they negotiated and came to an agreement. They then rejected it. But the whole issue is this, and you can see what Jim Banks was attempting to do. Jim Banks is attempting to change the subject from this being an insurrection by Trumpists on the state capitol to overthrow the United States government to an issue of security, not having the Capitol secure from the insurrectionists. In other words, he's trying to move blame around. He's trying to make blame that the attack was not, the fault of the attack was because of lack of security. Well, let's be very, very frank. Security ultimately worked. The Capitol did not fall. So the process cost the lives of 2 officers or so. Very, very bad. But ultimately, the Capitol held. So if you want to make it a security issue as well, the United States is still standing free, not in control of the insurrectionists who are the terrorists that attempted to execute a coup on the United States. So either way, I wish that is one narrative I wish would be added. The Capitol did not fall. So therefore, we could improve on how to create less damage in the Capitol. But ultimately, what needs to be researched is why we had terrorists come into the Capitol as insurrectionists to overthrow the government, to effect a coup on America. That is the narrative, and we should not allow the narrative to be changed. And when they bring up the security issue, the Capitol did not fall. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.